Around 90% of businesses could be at risk of fraud because of the payment systems they use, a study has claimed. According to the findings, the validation processes of many firms are not satisfactory when it comes to making sure that payments are legitimate, and the vast majority of firms could be risking fraud, reputational damage, and ultimately customer loss through PR failings, all by not making sure they are correctly administering transactions. The report said that nearly all companies in the UK use some sort of payment validation in the process for debit and credit card transactions, but added that it matters where in the process this actually takes place. It said that only 50% of companies validate at the point of entry, while the other half do not, and these are at risk of loss of some point. More worryingly, though, is the failure of many companies to verify the data. The validation process is described as a piece of software that ensures that the sort code and account numbers exist and match one another. But while the number carrying this out at an early stage is reasonably high, very few go on to verify the data. An expert working on the report said only 10 to 20% of companies actually verify, a process that makes sure the sort code and account match up to an existing person rather than just each other. Most of these are large firms, meaning that the vast majority of SMEs are at severe risk of loss. The commentator said as many as 90% of companies are risking fraud on a regular basis as a consequence of not carrying out this check regularly, potentially losing out on revenue and customer sentiment. This is in spite of some 71% of businesses saying they recognise that failed transactions can damage relations with employees and customers alike. This story was brought to you by QBE, the business insurance specialist.